everyone. In this session, we will be discussing practical question number 7 of cash book. Now, in this question, we are supposed to prepare a 2-column cash book consisting of cash and bank column. Now, let us see the first transaction that took place on January 1st. It said that we have cash in hand 50,000 and we have bank overdraft 1,90,000. Now, in my previous session, I have already told you that cash will always show debit balance. That means we have to note it down on the debit side of cash book. But when the question gives you bank overdraft, it means that it is a credit balance, so that means we have to record it in credit side of our cash book. Now let us see the entry for first transaction. Now first transaction, they said that cash balance is rupees 50,000. So as per the rule, we will record it on debit side by writing to balance brought down. In cash column, we will write 50,000. Then for bank overdraft, what we will do is that we will record it on credit side, that is here by writing by balance carried down, and in the bank column 1,90,000. So remember, whenever in question it is given bank balance, that means it is debit balance and we will record it on debit side. But if it says that overdraft bank balance, then that time we have to record it in credit side. The next transaction is purchase goods from Rajesh Kumar of the list price 50,000 at 5% rate discount and payment made by check. Now in here they have mentioned about rate discount, and it is not a cash discount, so we don't have to pass any journal entry. But for trade discount, what we are supposed to do is that we have to deduct 5% of this 50,000 directly from the amount. So 5% of 50,000 you can calculate easily. When first you try to find out 10% of 50,000, that will be 5,000, and 5% is nothing but half of 10%, that is half of 5,000, that is 2,500. So when we deduct 2,500 from 50,000, we will get 47,500. That means what we have to record is we have to record 47,500 in our cash book. So we made the purchases, that means we have to make payments, so we will record it on credit side of our cash book by writing by purchases. And since in the question they mentioned that the payment was made by check, that means our bank is giving the amount, so we will record in the bank column rupees 47,500. Remember, for cash discount we have to pass journal entry, but for trade discount we don't have to pass any journal entry. The next transaction, goods sold for 80,000 and payment received by check. The check was deposited into bank on same day. That means we will receive a amount in our bank account. So we have, since we received amount after selling good, that means we have to record it on debit side. We will write to sales account, and since we will receive amount in our bank account, so we will write in bank column 80,000. The next transaction, good purchased for cash. They have clearly mentioned that we purchased goods for cash rupees 19,800, so we will record it on payment side by writing by purchases, and since we made the payment in cash, we will write in cash column 19,800. The next transaction, furniture sold for 1,77,000 and payment received by check, and check deposited into bank on same day. That means we received amount of 1,77,000 in our bank account, so that means we have to record it in bank column. And since we have sold furniture that was used in the business, so instead of writing to sales account, what we will write is that we will write to furniture account, and in bank column we will write 1,77,000. Then next, salaries paid 4,500. Since they didn't mention anything about whether we paid the amount by check or cash, we will consider it as a cash payment. So on credit side, what we will do write is that by salaries account in cash column rupees 4,500. The next transaction, settle the amount due to RAM 2,000 by paying cash 1,910. Now in this transaction, what you have to see is that we were supposed to pay 2,000 to Ram, but instead of that we paid him 1,910. That means the remaining 90 rupees is nothing but our cash discount that we received from him. So first we will see how much amount of money that we paid. Since they didn't mention whether we paid the amount by check, we will consider it as a cash payment. So January 21 we will write by Ram, and in cash column we will write 1910. Since there is cash discount of 90 rupees, for that we have to pass journal entry, and the journal entry will be Ram account Ram debit to discount received, since we received discount from him and discount received is credited rupees 90. In narration you can write discount received from Ram. Now next transaction, cash received from J 14,780 in full settlement of his account of 15,000. Now he was supposed to pay us 15,000, but he paid us only 14,780. That means the difference amount, that is after deducting this amount from 15,000, the amount that we will get is nothing but our discount allowed. So at first we will pass entry in our cash book. Since we received cash from him, we will write 2J in cash column 14,780, and the remaining amount for that we will pass journal entry. We will write discount allowed account debit to J rupees 220. Then next, paid life insurance premium 1,500. Now life insurance premium is proprietor's own personal life insurance, and that is why we have to treat it as a drawing. He took out 1,500 from business and he paid for his personal insurance, so that will be treated as drawings in account. So we will write by drawings account 1,500. Then in last transaction what they said is that deposited with bank entire balance after retaining 7,000 cash in hand. They said like whatever amount of cash we have in our hand, we kept 7,000 and we deposited the remaining amount in bank account. So for that we have to pass one journal entry for depositing amount in bank, and after that we have to balance the cash book. Now let us see how shall we do that. Since we are discussing about cash, so we will first look at the cash column on both the sides. Now see, on debit side we have 50,000 and 14,780. We will find total of this and we will write in here 64,780. Now next step is to deduct all the amount so far we have noted down from our question. That means still 1,500 we will deduct from 64,780. Now after that you have to do it in rough. After deducting you have to again deduct 7,000, since they told us to keep 7,000 in hand as cash. After deducting that 7,000 from the remaining balance, whatever amount we will get, that we will deposit it into bank. And in this case, after deducting these 4 items and 7,000 from 64,780, we got rupees 30,070. That 30,070 we have to deposit it into bank. So for that we have to pass one entry. Since we are calculating on January 31, we will put date as January 31st, and since we deposited money in the bank is the receiver, so in here we will write by bank account rupees 30,070 in cash, because this credit side is payment side and cash is the payer. Imagine as cash is paying money to the bank. So in here we will write 30,070 in cash column, and here we will write C to mark it as a contra entry. Now come to the debit side in bank column. Since it is contra entry, we have to record both on both sides, both debit and credit. We have made credit transaction. Now come to the debit side. January 31st we have to write to cash account, and since the bank is the receiver of this 30,070, we will write 30,070 in bank column, and we will mark C in here as our contra entry. Now you can write 64,780 in here total. Now for cash column it's done. Now come to the bank column. What you have to do is that you have to roughly find out total of this 80,000, 1,77,000 and 30,070. From there you have to deduct this 1,90,000 and 47,500. The remaining amount, that is 49,570, will be nothing but your balance carried down. So altogether total you got 22,87,070. Now these two, 7,000 of cash and 49,570 of bank balance, is nothing but your balance brought down for next month, that is for February 2020. I hope you understood this question. The question is easy, but the only twisted thing is about this last transaction that they gave in this question, depositing the bank with entire balance after retaining 7,000 in cash. So this part you have to pay little bit attention, and if you still find any doubts, then you can just contact me. Thank you.